Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back. If you're new here, my name is Cody Coker. On this channel, I'm going to be posting about financial freedom and independence because that's a topic that's very near and dear to my heart. So if that's something that you're interested in, please subscribe down below, drop a like on this video, and that'll show me that you want more content like this into the future. Before I get too deep into this video, I need to make it clear that I am not a financial advisor. So anything you hear in this video is my opinion and my opinion alone. I'll try to give you the best, most fullest, impartial opinion I can, but ultimately, I'm not an advisor. So when we talk about the top stocks to buy for 2021, we're really talking about the stocks with the potential for the most explosive growth this year and for the next 5 to 10 years to come. We want to look towards budding industries that are primed to explode in the next 5 to 10 years. These are not the safe picks your grandma would want. These are the go big or die trying variety of stock picks. So without further ado, let's get into the top 5 best stocks to invest your money into in 2021. The first stock up today is going to be APHA. APHA is a Canadian cannabis company trading at around $20 a share right now. I see the cannabis industry as an enormous opportunity in the coming decade. The United States presents an absolutely enormous opportunity. With each and every state that legalizes, revenues for the cannabis industry will grow, and the federal government will get one step closer to fully legalizing cannabis. With a Democrat controlling the White House and Democrats controlling the Senate, it's looking more likely than ever for the U.S. federal government to legalize cannabis in the next few years. While nothing is a guarantee, it's looking not like a matter of if legalization will occur, but when. Right now, I think there's an incredible opportunity because I liken the cannabis industry to the alcohol industry during the Prohibition era of the United States. If you were to invest early on in the Prohibition era, you would never work a day in your life. So ultimately, while these may not be stocks I retire on, these are stocks that I believe will absolutely skyrocket fivefold in the next 10 years because of the position they're in. So I'm really big on the cannabis sector, but you might be asking yourself, why APHA? Well, APHA is about to go through with a merger with another large Canadian cannabis company, Tilray. After the merger, they're going to be keeping Tilray's name, even though APHA is clearly the more successful of the two. After this merger occurs, I believe APHA, which will be named Tilray, is going to be in a prime position to capitalize on the US legalization. They're going to become the largest cannabis company in the world according to annual revenues. So that's going to put them in a very comfortable position from a balance sheet perspective to survive the storm of a young, growing industry, as well as continue to acquire and buy up smaller cannabis companies to help grow their foothold in the United States and in Europe in years to come. One thing to keep in mind about APHA right now, though, that's really interesting is that after this merger, every share of APHA will turn into 0.83 shares of Tilray. So while that can mean that either APHA's price comes up or Tilray's price comes down, but currently we're seeing there's a price differential that warrants buying APHA. All right, stock number 2. The next stock up is going to be another cannabis corporation. However, this time it's going to be based on the other side of the border in Chicago, Illinois, in the United States. What makes this opportunity so interesting is that it's a US-based cannabis manufacturer. See, it's still federally illegal in the United States, so any cannabis company in the United States that wants to grow right now has to grow in a very unique way. They don't have access to funding from banks because banks can't lend to businesses who deal in federally illegal drugs still. So it's really hard to gain access to capital. Those companies that are growing right now and expanding state to state are really putting themselves in a great position to be able to explode during the full American legalization of cannabis. So it might sound like a bad thing that banks can't lend to cannabis right now, and in a way it is, but right now it's giving me a lot of confidence in Cresco because they've been able to grow and have a positive balance sheet in the face of a lack of efficient funding. Currently, Cresco Labs is operating in 9 states and has over 25 dispensaries to their name. So one thing to note about the US cannabis industry is that each and every state was hit really hard by COVID-19, and all states are struggling with their financials right now. Because of this, states are becoming envious of states where cannabis is currently legalized and taxed, because it can bring in hundreds of millions of dollars in tax revenue every year. Because states are looking for this funding, I expect to see an even stronger, faster wave of state-by-state legalization in the coming years. Now, beyond state-by-state legalization, what makes Cresco Labs interesting as a US-based operator is that when cannabis is legalized in the United States, states and counties will want to protect local creators of cannabis, local business first and foremost. It's no secret that social reform is coming with cannabis reform. Lawmakers are going to really want to encourage local producers far more than benefiting large multi-billion-dollar international corporations. They're going to help the little guy out in the US before they allow the big players in. Free reign. My last note on Cresco Labs is that we want to be in position when full federal cannabis legalization occurs. That's when the cannabis stock market is going to skyrocket, and I'm talking 10x numbers. We want to be in position now before it explodes. All right, the third stock up is going to be a real estate investment trust that has continuously increased their dividend payouts 10 times over the last 4 years alone. This is a company that's been very successful in the past few years, and it's looking like that success is only going to increase. They're still able to gobble up properties and acquire properties each and every month, further increasing their revenue. The company I'm talking about is Innovative Industrial Properties, which is actually a real estate investment trust that is peripheral to the cannabis market. You see, I mentioned earlier that banks can't loan to cannabis companies. However, the cannabis industry is youthful right now and really needs to grow and needs money to grow. So that's where Innovative Industrial Properties fits in. Innovative Industrial Properties comes in and will purchase the land and facilities current cannabis manufacturers use. So they'll buy the farm and rent it back to the farmer. What this allows is it frees up a lot of cash for the owners to then make further investments in their properties. And beyond that, it allows for consistent revenues in the form of rent payments. This makes their revenues very consistent, very predictable, and goes to show that it'll only increase as their properties increase. Innovative Industrial Properties continues to buy more and more, as they currently have over 50 in the United States, and this is just going to grow. The stability of this company is great, and I only expect them to grow with the growth of the cannabis industry. The fourth stock on this list finally has absolutely nothing to do with the cannabis industry and everything to do with a different kind of medicine, and that's Teladoc Health. You see, I fully believe in the future of telemedicine. Now, this list is about the stocks that have the most or the highest potential to explode in the next year and 5 to 10 years. Telemedicine is one of those. Just like the budding cannabis industry, telemedicine is still new and it's in the early stages of adoption. Now, while I say early stages, it might come to a surprise that Teladoc Health is worth almost $30 billion as of the time of recording this video. Now, $30 billion might seem like a lot initially, but it's important to recognize that the global expenditure on healthcare every year is almost over $8.5 trillion annually. So this just shows that telemedicine is still a drop in the bucket of what it can be. COVID-19 was a great time for Teladoc Health because of the prevalence of the amount of doctor's visits. However, doctors want to operate as effectively and efficiently as possible. And one way to do that is reducing the number of in-person meetings they must conduct. If it makes sense for a doctor, it'll make sense for me. This pandemic has shown us that the medical industry is being forced to adapt with the changes, and telemedicine is one of those changes that will come. Speaking with a doctor through a screen is the most time-effective way and best way for a doctor to give the most help to the most amount of people. It's for these reasons that I believe the telemedicine industry is going to explode over the next year and 5 to 10 years, and that's why you need to invest in Teladoc Health right now. Before I get into the final stock, I'd really like to ask you guys, if you have found anything of value so far in this video, please drop a like on this video and let me know what you found valuable. If you find this enjoyable, please subscribe down below. This is only my second video and I'm really excited to grow and continue to learn what I can do to provide more value to you. All right, so for the fifth and final stock that you need to buy in 2021, you have Tesla. Okay, sure, this is kind of an obvious one. You might ask yourself, why would I invest in Tesla for explosive growth if they just grew almost 10 times their value in the last year alone? There's not much room for growth, right? Well, wrong. Tesla is here and Tesla is here to stay. You see, the world, the internet loves Elon Musk, and I love Elon Musk too. Elon Musk simply cannot miss. It's almost like the reincarnation of Steve Jobs. He's the masterful maestro of marketing. You might ask yourself, what does Elon Musk know about tequila? Absolutely nothing. Yet he sold out on his Tesla tequila immediately. Elon made a big splash recently by buying over $1.5 billion worth of Bitcoin through Tesla. Now, you might be able to debate the effectiveness of that move, while up to so far it's been quite effective. It just goes to show the ingenuity of Elon and how he's going to do whatever to continue to be in the spotlight and increase shareholder value. Beyond Elon's intangible fame, Tesla is simply the gateway to the future. You want a product that breaks barriers? You go to Tesla. So one thing about Tesla that particularly excites me that you might not be aware of is what companies they own. I'm very bullish on the future of Tesla alone, but I'm also extremely excited by one of the subsidiaries, a company owned by Tesla called Solar City. Now, you might remember in the past, back in 2016, Solar City announced they were working on solar tiles for your roof. So just like a normal roof would protect your home, theirs will, but also provide energy for you as well. Beyond the solar tiles, Solar City is also working hard on creating battery packs that are installed to the outside of your home that work in conjunction with charging your vehicle or recharging from your roof. So it's easy for Solar City to get lost up in the value of Tesla alone, but I see an enormous opportunity for Tesla to change the way we live in each and every home, not just drive in each and every car. Okay, so we've gone over the 5 stocks that you need to buy in 2021 for explosive growth and the highest chance at personal financial freedom for the long haul. APHA, Cresco, Innovative Industrial Properties, Teladoc Health, and Tesla. These are 5 companies that you need to buy in, and I have put my money where my mouth is. This is not just somebody saying what you need to buy without any skin in the game. I personally own shares in all 5 of these companies. I want you to grow with me. So thank you so much for watching this video. Subscribe down below if you found it enjoyable or entertaining at all. Please leave a like again, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much. Peace out.